Welcome to this episode in the section of social and emotional health in the series of holistic health. We saw how to analyze one's own disturbance to detect our own unrealistic beliefs which are responsible for the occurrence. In today's session, we shall see some more examples for the illustration of this technique. So, can we have some examples?
Sir, I have one example. In business, if everything goes well, the company goes in profit, and wherever I have invested in the projects, if I get a good returns, then there is no problem. But whenever there is a downfall in the revenue of the investment, then I feel very sad, sir.
Okay, so let's analyze it. What is the first step?
Sadness.
Sadness. What is the external cause for the sadness?
Downfall in the revenue. Loss.
Yeah. So, what is the internal cause?
Internal cause.
For the sadness.
Attachment, aversion.
Attachment towards the profit.
And
Aversion towards the loss.
so, what is the belief behind this attachment and aversion?
I should be in profit only.
There should never be any loss.
There should be never any loss.
Right. So, realistic, unrealistic.
Sir, it is unrealistic.
Why?
Because the company can go in profit as well as in loss.
Correct. So, there are always ups and downs. We just cannot have up and up alone. So, what would be the realistic belief?
Profit also may occur and loss also may occur.
We have to learn to take it in a stride.
Yes.
Not get disheartened by loss,
Okay.
nor get upbeat because of profit.
Right.
Mind you, just as sadness is an emotional reaction, joy is also an emotional reaction. And being the emotional reaction, it can produce the same damaging effects that the sorrow can produce.
So sometimes whenever an unexpected profit occurs, I get in very joyous state.
True. That also can damage you.
That is also harmful.
Damn it, but in the same way and same intensity.
Because whether there is joy or sorrow over here, the body doesn't know.
Acha.
So when there is any deviation from the baseline of peace, it will respond with the same physiological changes. You might have heard of people dying of shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must have also heard of people
Yeah.
dying of joy.
Yeah.
One villager won a lottery and it was a huge amount. So the village people thought he may die on hearing this news. So they entrusted the village priest to break the news to him. So the village priest approached this person and said, "What if you win a huge amount in lottery?" He said, "Half of it I'll give it to you." And the priest died.
Before even he got it, he wouldn't have given.
Only listening there.
So, when we come to realistic belief, not only the sorrow goes, the joy also goes. And it is our reluctance to let go of the delight that makes us cling on to our unrealistic beliefs. So, if we want peace, we have to let go of joy also. Yeah, any other example?
So this lack of discipline and responsibility that disturbs me at times. Like my own people, sometimes my husband or even my children, there is no discipline at times.
True.
So I tried my best. That's what I feel.
Correct. And what was the result?
But they do whatever they have to do. And also responsible. Sometimes like you wait for friends, like give certain times and then they don't turn up on time. Like
So that is
valid
punctuality.
time. Also the discipline in the sense like our civic sense amongst our people. Like on the road, Even the literate people also, they litter things
True.
on the road.
Mhm.
So it disturbed me. So I pick it up and tell them like, is it yours? You dropped it. So they give me dirty looks and say, just throw it away or whatever. So
True.
it disturbs, time.
Correct.
So I don't know whether it is right or wrong. Let me say.
What is right or wrong? Getting
Whether
disturbed?
getting disturbed by this or
That is always
or this
wrong.
getting disturbed or like why should like people not follow discipline and
True.
be a little responsible?
Which comes very easily to you. Correct. So, now let's analyze it. What is the first step?
Disturbance.
Disturbance. What is the external cause for the disturbance?
Indiscipline and irresponsible.
And lack of civic sense. Right. If these were not there, you would not be disturbed. Now, what is the internal cause?
Attachment to
Attachment to cleanliness or discipline. And
Responsibility.
Responsibility.
Civic sense. And aversion to
Indiscipline.
Indiscipline.
Irresponsible. No.
lack of civic sense.
Not caring, yeah.
Yeah.
Not caring for your own country.
Correct? So, what is the belief behind this?
Always people should be disciplined, responsible,
Yes.
and they should have civic sense.
Yes.
Is it too much expectation?
No, I'm asking whether it is realistic or unrealistic.
It is realistic. It can happen. They can do it.
No. So, is it
But then
existing?
achieving the
Is it existing?
no.
No. And in spite of your best possible efforts, you have not succeeded in making any change in them.
No, not really.
Correct.
I mean, I was not able to. Rather.
True. Correct. So, it comes very easily to you because that's your nature.
Okay.
And because it comes so easily to you, you can't understand why can't they do it. But unfortunately for you, they have a different nature than yours. Correct. So what we want, that people should be disciplined, people should be responsible, people should have civic sense, just as I do.
That I should not expect.
So you are expecting everybody to become like you. Possible?
No.
Necessary?
Yes. Not necessary, maybe. Necessary actually in the
It is ideal.
larger this thing, it is
it
necessary.
is ideal but
Ah.
not realistic.
Not real. Not necessary. It would be nice if they do it.
True. But is it possible? Is it necessary?
Particularly in
No.
India.
So,
Yes.
everybody cannot become like you. Somebody has said, you cannot be happy when married unless you are divorced.
And
Divorce from your own self.
yes.
See, what is he saying? This is one person, this is the other person. The first person, on the basis of his or her nature, has formulated his outlook to life. Similarly, the second person, on the basis of his or her nature, has built up his own system of beliefs. From this point of view, this is right, this is wrong. From this point of view, this is right and this is wrong. So now what happens? Each one tries to change the other to match their own nature, which is going to be a lifelong tug of war. For the only reason that both the natures are inborn and cannot be changed even if you want to, just to please others. So the person is not talking of this divorce. He's talking of divorce yourself from yourself. Divorce your beliefs from your nature. This is a subjective viewpoint. This is an objective viewpoint. From this viewpoint, this is right and this is also right. Then where is the objection? And having shifted from the unrealistic belief to the realistic belief, afterwards, if you control the nature, the gap can be narrowed. It will not go away totally, but the gap can be narrowed. Yeah?
So, but then don't we feel that, okay, this is necessary and this is right also of behavior somewhere? That being punctual or being, isn't it right?
Okay. All types of natures have their plus points and minus points, advantages and disadvantages. Correct. So, what is the advantage of the person who is not of this type? Obviously, the traits that she described apply to an assertive person. Now, will she always come across assertive people?
No.
She'll come across aggressives also and submissives also. None of which going to behave in an assertive manner. So she's wanting everybody to change into assertive nature. Then only this is possible.
But when
So-
we have talked about control of nature, then definitely.
True? You can control your own nature. You cannot control somebody else's nature.
Yeah, but everybody should control their own nature.
True, if they are willing to.
That is true.
Nobody can impose that control.
Because their beliefs that they.
She has to control her nature to try and browbeat others into behaving that she wants.
Ideal. Not
So
only
can
she
we
wants.
say that this behavior is right, but expecting everyone to behave in this manner
True.
is unrealistic?
True.
Yeah.
Not only that, this behavior is right, but being a stickler to it is becoming a slave of your nature.
Yeah,
Should
but
not be-
unrealistic
let it
is
affect.
you expecting this behavior from everyone.
True.
Like, because
And
many
also
people
a
do
slave,
say that,
as you said.
yeah, no, what's wrong? I mean, being punctual, this is obviously it's right. So yeah, behavior is right, but expecting that same from everyone
And
is,
and
and you
Getting
being
disturbed
strict.
out of.
no, that is one thing. Not controlling your own nature.
Yeah, that's also being.
Being a stickler to punctuality. Discipline is right. Regimentation is not right.
Not right.
That is the excess of
Exactly.
discipline.
So whatever you're expecting from others, just see to it that you have it in you, and that's it. Like forget
That's
about
it. And you also better not do it in excess
I know, not in
Excess,
excess. Yeah.
by controlling your own nature.
So accepting is better than expecting.
Always.
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 And when will we be able to accept others of a different nature than ours? See, when you come across another person similar to your nature, you are comfortable, the other person is also comfortable. But will you always get these types of people? No. So when you get a person of a different nature, it is going to be uncomfortable to you as well as to the other person. Now, how to remove that discomfort? Either by changing your nature to match the other person's nature, or by changing the other person's nature to match your nature. Which of the two is possible?
Easier,
None of-
easier
none
is
of
to
them.
change yourself.
Change
No,
yourself.
Can you change your
You can't
nature
change
also?
your nature.
Nah, nature,
None
but
of them.
So
Neither.
neither of it is possible. That means what? The
except
difference in nature is bound to remain.
Except.
That is what, that
Understand.
means what? The discomfort is bound to remain. Learn to accept that discomfort, then you can accept the other person's nature as it is.
To change the mindset.
Your mindset by accepting that discomfort. Mind you, the harm is caused not by the discomfort, but by the disturbance brought about by the non-acceptance of the discomfort. So if you want a master key to all that we have said,
Acceptance.
learn to accept the inevitable discomforts of life. Don't try to make clones out of others. Not possible, not required.
Acceptance is also sometimes, most of the times, is seen by others, like as somebody who is giving in very easily, not
True.
trying. Yeah,
True. No, that is surrender.
surrender. Okay.
So, I am not asking you to surrender. I do say, yes, accept the other person's nature, so then you are not upset. After that, give whatever the response that is necessary, the
Okay.
appropriate response.
The appropriate response. Yeah, that is okay.
So, the response is not incorrect. That you need to give. But if you get agitated over it,
you are the loser.
And the
this is
response
the-
may be higher side or under
Yes.
response also will.
Yeah? Can we have one more example?
Yeah, so it really frustrates me when I see this is about like haves and the have-nots. Like you have people who are well off, like prosperous, and then they are taking advantage of the lesser, disadvantage
Poor.
of it. And
Exploiting them.
Yeah, exploiting. Yeah, exploitation and manipulation.
Hmm.
That is what bothers me a lot.
True.
Yeah.
So, what is the first step?
First step, as in like
Get
I don't.
disturbed or bothered.
Yeah.
You're
Something that it disturbs me. Yeah.
Correct. So, you're disturbed, you're bothered.
Hmm.
What is the external cause for that disturbance?
That I should.
exploitation.
Yeah, that it should not happen. Like the exploitation should not happen.
So
and
the exploitation happening, that's why you're
attachment-
disturbed.
Yeah, attachment to that.
Exploitation and manipulation is
Manipulation.
occurring. Right? What is the internal cause?
Again, it's like
Aversion.
aversion.
Ah,
Aversion to
Exploitation
Exploitation
and manipulation. And therefore attachment to
Fair.
Fair.
non-exploitation, non-manipulation. What is the belief behind that?
that
nobody should.
nobody should be at the end of receiving all these things, like the exploitation and the
True? So you are feeling sorry for the person who is exploited and manipulated, or you are feeling angry at the person who is exploiting and manipulating?
Or both.
both, like
Both.
angry, more
Correct.
of angry.
Yeah.
So it's anger against the exploiter.
Yeah,
So the belief is,
that there shouldn't be any exploiters. I mean,
people should not
people should not
exploit,
get exploited.
people
and
should
they
not manipulate.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Realistic, unrealistic.
unrealistic because you see it around you everywhere. Like people are
True.
taking
It's not
advantage.
possible to change everyone.
Correct. You cannot change the reality the way you want it. What would be the realistic belief?
That there are exploiters and there are people who get exploited. And
Correct.
they
So
both have
first
to wait.
acknowledge the fact that such people are there, so that you become calm. But just because you have calmed down doesn't mean that you don't take the necessary actions.
Okay.
You may give the necessary response. It may succeed, it may not succeed. But if you get upset over it, you are causing harm to yourself.
I think this is the underlying thing, like that it is causing harm to myself,
Correct.
and I have to look after myself.
Yes.
And since you can't change others, you better look after yourself and don't get.
Correct. You do carry out whatever your responsibility.
But don't expect any result. Yeah.
Correct.
You do your bit and then move on.
True.
Don't expect results. Like they are going to change or
Yeah. Because the results don't depend on merely on your effort.
yeah,
There are many other
factors.
factors over which you have no control. So perform your job, do your duty, and accept whatever the result. So, mind you, again, accepting the empirical reality as it is doesn't mean that you're agreeing with it. You still disagree with it. You still give the appropriate responses that falls to your lot and rest at that. If you see, in most of these examples, the root is
Expectation.
Expectations.
Unrealistic
Unrealistic
belief
belief system.
I should
Pain.
be comfortable
Unrealistic.
all the
Ah.
time.
Even pain.
if you analyze these disturbances further, you will find most of the time we are averse to things which are contrary to our nature and therefore uncomfortable to us.
Feel good factor. Always you want to be feel good.
Feel good
You
factor.
don't want the
True.
conflict.
discomfort.
Correct. So what are we doing? We are trying to change infrastructure to suit our taste. Like when all of you entered this room, what did you enter for?
For a
Coolness.
discussion.
for learning
To
something.
learn.
सही जवाब आ रहा है.
Now, when you entered, you find that the arrangement is not proper. The chairs should not be of this type. The arrangement should not in this direction. So, we rearrange the infrastructure. Somebody else walks in and finds your rearrangement incorrect, and therefore rearranges it
Rearrange.
the way he or she wants it. And now you resent it. So now there's a conflict between the two. And the purpose for which you entered here is lost. So we are all busy trying to change the infrastructure to suit our taste.
Got it, sir.
And in the process, missing out with the very purpose of life,
Real
The
essence of
reality.
the real thing. It also brings us in strife with others. It also jeopardizes our health. And we are paying a heavy price with no achievement.
And everyone is making their own recipes.
Yeah,
True.
that's why conflicts are there.
And everybody finds that his recipe or her recipe is better than the rest, bringing them into conflicts with each other. So, in this episode, we saw certain examples. In the next episode, we shall talk about the mechanics of self-change. What happens to us, within us, when we change over from the unrealistic belief to the realistic beliefs.